again, second graders. We're back with our math video for today, and we are starting subtraction again this week. We've done a little bit a few weeks ago. We are going to come back and we are going to talk about how to regroup when numbers on the bottom don't seem to make it very easy to subtract because we don't have enough ones. So we're going to be talking about that throughout the week, and we're going to keep practicing those skills that we've already been building on. Let's take a look at our worksheet. You might notice that this is only the bottom half of the front page, so the top part you can go ahead and take a look at, but we're going to be using just the bottom half to get started with our lesson today. So our directions say to subtract, regroup if needed, and to use cubes at home if you think that they would be helpful to you. So our first question, which is the only question on this page, is to subtract 5 from 31. Well, that's written a little bit differently than we're used to hearing. Mrs. Grant, what do you think would be a better way to show that problem to our students?
Yeah, it's written in a really weird way. It says subtract 5 from 31. So if you see it like that, students might be tempted to write 5 minus 31, but that's not what we're doing. We're starting with 31 minus 5. We're subtracting 5 from 31. So we start with 31.
Got it.
And then we want 5 less. Minus
so 31 5. Is really our large number.
Yep.
It always goes at the top.
Yep.
And then we are going to subtract 5
yep.
from it, and that's going to be written below it.
Yes.
So we're lining up our numbers like soldiers, just like we would with addition. We've got our tens house, we've got our ones house. We're going to leave that over here just as a visual. Let's take a look at what they're doing across the page here. They started by showing the number 31, and you could do this too at home, or you can follow along here. They drew 3 tens rods to represent 30, and 1 ones cube to represent 1. So we have a picture of our larger number right here. Now, here comes the problem. We need to take away 5 ones. But Mrs. Grant, do you see 5 ones in the ones house?
There's only 1. How can I take 5 out of here when there's only 1?
Well, you can't yet.
Oh.
But isn't 31 a large enough number to take 5 from?
Yes.
It is, so we know it's possible. We just need to regroup our numbers a little bit.
Okay.
In fact, do you remember Mr. Tens?
I do. He was very nice.
He's such a nice guy. Do you remember how we let people sleep in his attic sometimes? Well, he's also willing to let you borrow things.
Oh.
Yeah. Whatever you want, really.
Okay.
But he only lets you borrow groups of 10.
Oh, okay.
So here's the deal. When I look at the number 31, I realize that Mr. Tens has plenty of 10s, that Mr. Ones could totally borrow something from him. In fact, he is going to let the ones house borrow an entire group of 10. So if you notice in this picture, they circled a group of 10, or you could just cross it out if you wanted to, and we're going to redraw it as 10 ones. So take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the same thing. All we did was took this tens rod and moved it into the ones column.
Okay.
And we still have the 1 left that we had earlier.
So now you have 11 in this column instead of 1.
Exactly. Okay. We actually have 11 ones and 2 tens, which still equals 31. That's pretty cool. All right. In the next picture, they are showing that we are going to subtract 5 ones.
Okay.
That's what we wanted to do before anyway. We just had to take an extra step to get there. So we're crossing off those 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once we do, we're going to be left with our answer.
Okay.
So we had 11 ones minus those 5, leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
ones.
Mrs. Grant, what do you think would be our final answer if we have 6 ones?
All right, so I think I just have to count up everything that's not crossed out.
Yep.
So I have 2 groups of 10, that's 20, 10, 20.
Yep.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
You got it. So our answer to 31 minus 5 is 26. All right, that seemed like a lot of steps, and it took up our whole board.
It did.
Why don't we try a couple problems on the back, and we're going to kind of squish some of those steps together, make it a little easier. All right, so you're going to notice there's not a lot of room to do much subtraction and work on this paper. So if you want to get out a whiteboard and a marker, or maybe even a scrap piece of paper, that would be totally fine. We are going to have a number that we need to represent with a picture. That's where it says show. So that's going to be our big number, kind of like the Big Daddy. You got it. Then there's a number that we are going to subtract.
A little baby.
We're going to be answering the question whether we needed to regroup or not, meaning did we have enough tens or did we have to borrow from Mr. Ten's house? And then finally, the difference also means the answer to a subtraction problem. So why don't we try number 1 together and give you a little example of how to do that. So if we want to show 47, how would I show the number 47 with a drawing?
Well, you would need 4 tens rods and 7 ones.
All right, so I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 tens. That's going to represent the 4. And then I'm going to draw 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
All right. Now, I want to subtract how many?
9.
All right. I want to take away 9. I already know there's a problem. I do not have 9 ones. I only have 7. Who was it that was super nice again?
Mr. Tens. He'll let you borrow some.
Tens. Mr. Tens is going to let us borrow something. In fact, he's going to allow us to take this entire group of 10 and put it over here instead. Now, I like to leave a little space before I redraw those tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I moved my group of 10. I put it over here. Now we can figure out what to do next.
Okay.
I needed to subtract 9. So what do I do?
So you have a lot of ones now. You started with 7, you added 10, so you have 17 ones now.
That's a lot.
Plenty of ones. You just need to cross off 9 of them. Get rid of 9 of them.
All right, I'm going to get rid of 9 of them. I think I might actually erase them.
All right.
You can circle them and get rid of them if that's easier. In fact, maybe I'll circle them first. That might be easier. So here's the 9 that I want to get rid of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you want to erase them, you can, but make sure you're only erasing the number you need to erase or you might get mixed up. I'm going to leave it as a circled number. All right. Can you help me count what's left to find our answer?
Yeah. So we're going to start with the tens. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38.
Huh.
And it looks like
Looks
that's correct.
like we got it right. All right, so I'm going to put 38 over here as our answer.
All right.
So remember, you're going to do the same thing on number 2 and 3. And then down below, these are actually still subtraction problems. We'll take a look really quick, but we want you to try them on your own. So for number 4, we are using a problem about a building that has 48 windows, but 9 of them are broken. That sounds like a subtraction problem that you might want to write out as 48 minus 9. Yep. All right. Can you tell us what we're doing in number 5? That also looks like a subtraction problem.
It does. Number 5 says the pole is 30 feet tall. The bug has crawled 14 feet. How much farther does the bug need to crawl? So I'm going to take my 2 numbers and I am going to be doing 30 minus 14. So I'm still going to have to do the same thing where I draw out my 10s and my 1s, and I probably need to regroup. And
Yep, you got it. All right, boys and girls, do your best. We're going to keep practicing all week.